Safety versus spending.
The only problem I got is that the sign changes halfway and I'm coming over.
Windsor weighs a $22 million crosswalk upgrade. Shaken and stranded.
Where my uncle lives, we haven't heard from him yet still because he's like in the center of the entire destruction.
Windsor's Venezuelan community reels from catastrophic quakes. And the shift with Patty Handyside's over. Longtime radio veteran hangs up the microphone after 45 legendary years.
It's amazing. It just flew by.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. We start tonight with breaking news. The jury came back in less than a day with a verdict in Glenn Mayer's murder trial. Travis Fortnum joins me now straight from the courthouse. Travis, what is the verdict?
Well, Stephanie, you will remember Mayer admitted to killing Tony Bashara inside his Lakeshore home. Today, the jury had to decide if it was first-degree murder. Tony Bashara was 47 years old when he was killed. An autopsy found he suffered 5 gunshot wounds from 3 bullets. The Crown argued Mayer fabricated a self-defense claim, saying Bashara raised his arm because he was about to be shot. The defense maintained Bashara was armed with a knife and argued Mayer was not acting rationally after a sleepless night, heavy drinking, and emotional distress. The jury came back late this afternoon, finding Mayer guilty of first-degree murder. Mayer will now face a sentencing hearing later this summer.
Okay, and of course, CTV News Windsor will be there to cover the sentencing.
Yep.
Okay, Travis Fortnum with our breaking news tonight. In other news, Windsor police have charged a 15-year-old after 2 girls were allegedly sexually assaulted and a third was physically assaulted. Police say 3 girls, ages 11, 13 and 16, met the teen at Lansbury Park, then went with him to a house on Moy Avenue. There, police say the suspect forced alcohol on all 3 girls before sexually assaulting the 11-year-old. The 16-year-old was then taken to a separate room and sexually assaulted. Officials say the 13-year-old tried to intervene but was unsuccessful. The 15-year-old is now facing 7 charges, including 2 for sexual assault. Pedestrian countdown timers at traffic lights could soon become a more familiar sight across Windsor, but making that happen comes with a hefty price tag. A new city report estimates expanding the program to every signalized intersection would cost more than $22 million. CTV's Chris Campbell has been following this today and now joins us in the studio. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie, right now only 11 intersections in Windsor have pedestrian countdown timers. The question is whether to put them at nearly 300 remaining crossings. Council must decide whether the investment is worth the potential safety benefits.
One of those locations sits at Lausanne Parkway and Tecumseh Road East, where a new East End Transit Terminal is expected to bring even more pedestrians into an already busy intersection.
The transit hub behind us is going to be active soon, and when it is, you're going to have a lot of people crossing the street. Let's make those improvements for the residents we serve.
Pedestrian countdown timers are timed based on how long it takes the average person to safely cross the street. Once the flashing hand appears, pedestrians should not begin crossing. The countdown is meant for those already in the crosswalk to finish crossing safely. Ward 7 Councillor Angelo Marignani requested the report, saying these timers or other pedestrian safety upgrades could benefit seniors and people with mobility challenges.
We need to do whatever we can, use whatever tools we have to ensure that our streets are safe.
Windsor resident Gary Gale says he already struggles to make it across some intersections before the signal changes.
The only problem I got is that the sign changes halfway and I'm coming over. And I'm an older person now, so I can't walk as quick as I used to.
Others give mixed opinions on the need and the cost.
Well, this one should have something because it really, and mostly you're watching the people making that right-hand turn. They don't realize, like, hey, the pedestrians have the right of way.
Save the money and do something better with it.
You never know who's going to turn left or right or if they're looking for you, so you always got to be cautious. I'm not sure if it's worth the cost.
Administration also found studies showing some drivers speed up to beat the countdown. It recommends accessible pedestrian signals with audible features instead. Committee member Councillor Fraser Father says those upgrades involve much more than simply installing a countdown clock.
One of the things that we do when we change out these lights is actually make accessibility improvements at all those intersections or all those crosswalks. So to put in just the light post is actually a lot cheaper than that. But by provincial rule, we actually have to do all of those accessibility improvements when we change out those light posts. So it's a long, complicated process.
With funding currently allowing only 7 to 10 upgrades a year, Father says future installations will likely be tied to road reconstruction projects, available grants, and Council's budget priorities.
Council is expected to receive the report on Monday, with further discussions continuing throughout the summer. And while there's broad support for improving pedestrian safety, councillors must decide whether to fast-track the upgrades and how to fund a project that could cost more than $22 million. Stefanie.
Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. Now, this takes us to our question of the day. Should Windsor spend more than $22 million to install countdown timers at all intersections? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you run or belong to a running group. Out of almost 600 responses, 95% say no. Now, there's a lot of anticipation for Monday's City Council meeting. One item on the docket, Windsor Arena and the proposed village at the barn. Bob Belichico joins us now. Bob, how are councillors feeling ahead of this meeting?
One councillor tells me that he anticipates a very long meeting on Monday. Now, council's being asked by administration to endorse a proposal that would see the city invest upwards of $55 million into Windsor Arena, but councillors tell me that that project hinges on funding from upper levels of government.
The discussion is how to make this happen. I mean, you know, as everything in the city, the city can't provide it all. We need help from upper levels of government.
Councillors are being asked to endorse the Villages at the Barn proposal that'll transform historic Windsor Arena into a facility with 100 pod-style supportive housing units for people experiencing homelessness and complement work being done at H4 next door.
I don't really want to see it knocked down. I'd like to see the facade sort of incorporated somehow, but it all comes down to reports and costing and analysis and different things like that. So
other things to consider: environmental assessments, potential environmental remediation, building code compliance, fire safety, and most importantly, capital, operational, and government funding.
The council needs to approve this, you know, on the interim basis, and then we'll talk about that moving forward.
City Councillor Gary Kaschak says if the plan is endorsed, administration will begin exploring the option and then report back to council. If the plan doesn't receive government funding,
I guess we'd go back to either letting it sit there and rot like it's been for over a decade, or, you know, having another EOI.
So 1961.
Yeah, so my grandfather sold it. That's the original barn.
Agreement.
Yeah, to sell to Lou Bendo.
Should we tell him how much?
Greg Spencer would be interested again. His family owned the arena before selling it for $275,000 65 years ago. He was disappointed an expression of interest was never opened for the barn and has pitched ideas over the years.
We'd love to get another shot at it, maybe have a more refined proposal this time, a little more what the city's looking for.
Got to solve the problems of today before we can, you know, have the fruits of tomorrow.
City Councilor Ronaldo Agostino hopes the proposal will save the barn and leave the door open for a possible retrofit in the future.
Wouldn't it be nice in 20 years, when we're done dealing with the issues we've had to deal with now, that we then repurpose that structure one more time and potentially turn it back into a beautiful arena for the home of the Spitfires?
We've got the 4th generation already working in the business, and 5th coming on along.
Now, I did speak with one of the owners of the Windsor Spitfires who says they love where they're at right now, but if an opportunity in the future ever arises to move the team and relocate them back downtown, they would consider it. He says that an arena downtown is a centerpiece to any big city like Windsor. Stefanie?
Interesting. Okay, Bob Belichico, thank you for this, Bob. Let's head to CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald, who joins us now for a first look at the weather from the Weather Center tonight. Gary.
You know, I think there's a good chance the weekend, Stefanie, will be beautiful both days. In fact, a clearing through the overnight, a calming wind. The system that has brought us showers late in the afternoon, early evening is still going to slide past us here along the Lake Erie shores. The good news is the threat of thunderstorms stays further south. let our American friends deal with that. Meanwhile, we'll see a nice clearing and temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, feeling close to 30. High UV though, so protect yourself with sunblock and of course sunglasses, protect your vision. I think those who like the high heat and humidity will like next week's forecast as we head towards Canada Day and beyond. I'll have those details shortly. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk. Stephanie?
Warning signs have been posted at 3 local beaches due to high E. coli counts. Swimming is not recommended at Cedar Beach, Point Pelee Northwest Beach, or Seacliff Beach, as E. coli counts are all above 200. The levels at Point Pelee Northwest Beach are actually approaching the point where the health unit will close the beach. Happily in Lakeshore, the Lakeview Park West Beach has now been given the all clear. Now Sunday is PTSD Awareness Day, and while much progress has been made in the treatment of PTSD for Canada's first responders, a recent symposium examined areas where more must be done. We get details from CTV's Pauline Chan.
When you're a police officer, you're the one that's called for help. You're not the one that needs help.
Teresa is a 22-year police veteran from Manitoba.
I looked at the uniform and I wanted to be part of something important.
She loves her job, but in her desire to excel in caring for others, her own health deteriorated.
You forget your family, you forget your kids. In fact, it's like you almost want to avoid it.
A couple of years ago, she left work and sought help, but it wasn't easy.
I hate it here, I don't want to be here. So that was the first thing I noticed, right? So, but then as I got here and I met other people that have basically fought the same battle as me, what I like to think of it is we're all on the same boat fighting different pirates.
A recent symposium in Kelowna, hosted by Diversified Rehab, looked at the latest in PTSD treatments for first responders.
Aside from mental health stigma, aside from not reaching out, we are still operating in silos. And the symposium is a classic example how those silos could be taken apart in literally minutes.
One of the feedback pieces that they received was that leaders need training. How do you lead others? How do we take care of our people around us and build those relationships where trust is the foundation?
In September, we're going to be launching first workshop for leaders to come join us so they can gain the right skills.
RCMP Sergeant Rob Ferrer is the new leader of the National Police Federation and says the need is urgent.
The suicide rates have not diminished, and that is where really, like, that's the one, to me, the biggest and most glaring red flag that we need to change.
Teresa says she came into the treatment program with a lot of anger, but its special focus on the needs of first responders helped.
We were able to relate immediately with the sensations, with the emotions, with the loneliness, with the anger. That was like a big one.
When you talk about mental health, different individuals will react positively to different type of support, and then that's why we have this array of services that are available to them.
Teresa's main message is for others to know they're not alone. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Bell River is kick-flipping into the future as a new skate park opens today with a nod to the past.
3, 2, 1.
The new $300,000 skate park is now open at Optimist Park, replacing the original built more than 2 decades ago. That park was created to honor 13-year-old Blake Levinek, who loved to skateboard. Today, his family helped cut the ribbon as Blake's memorial found a new home, and a new generation of skaters hit the ramps. Another nod to the past, a celebration of Indigenous culture filled Charles Clark Square in downtown Windsor today as the community gathered for a competition powwow marking National Indigenous History Month. The sounds of drums and the sights of colorful regalia welcomed visitors to the free, family-friendly event. The competition powwow featured traditional singing and dancing, indigenous food, artisan vendors, and cultural teachings, giving people an opportunity to experience and learn about indigenous traditions firsthand. Organizers say hosting the event in the heart of the downtown helps bring people together while celebrating their rich history. The event also serves as an opportunity to strengthen relationships and encourage greater understanding through shared cultural experiences.
Our organization actually offers a lot of different services to Indigenous people, and those services come from funding. So, being able to be visible and people knowing that we're here really helps us be able to provide those services. Without people knowing that we exist, we don't have the means to continue those services.
Fireworks night was just a few days ago, but Transit Windsor says there was a large increase in the number of people using the shuttle bus to get downtown. Transit Windsor was offering a complimentary shuttle from Devonshire Mall. The city says this year there was a 31% increase in the number of riders. In all, the shuttle service transported 6,100 people to the riverfront. Executive Director James Chacko says this year ranks as one of the top 3 years in the 16 years that the shuttle bus has been offered. Zayres sponsored the free Transit Windsor shuttle bus service for a 16th year in a row. Also tonight, after a 45-year career in radio broadcasting, AM 800's Patty Handysides is signing off for the last time.
45 years in this business, 41 years in this building, being a DJ, being an anchor, being a reporter, being a show host. It's amazing. It just flew by. A lot of memories and all the amazing people I've met and worked with. Incredible.
A career in radio was never the plan, but one she quickly fell in love with. Over the decade, she's interviewed local newsmakers, celebrities, several prime ministers, U.S. presidents, and even the Queen. Although she will be missed hosting the afternoon shift from 2 to 6 p.m., she's not going anywhere. She's already been booked up to MC several charity events and has been asked to serve on a number of community service boards. She's looking forward to spending the summer on a houseboat and time in the garden, and of course, tuning in to AM 800 News.
Local news is so important. We're seeing it in so many communities where they've lost it. And it's what brings the information to the people. People know to tune in. They know they can come and tune into our station or tune into the TV news and get those stories and see what's happening. And without it, we're lost. And so we bring the breaking news. We bring the weather alerts, when storms are approaching and things like that. So it's so important, and we need to keep the support going for that local news too.
Congratulations, Patty. So we do want to hear from you as well. Do you have a comment, question? Do you want to congratulate Patty? Or do you want to send us a story idea? Text us at 10400. Extreme makeover still ahead on Windsor's News Leader, the national competition to restore 24 Sussex Drive. Later, a rough flu season at Windsor Essex Hard, higher cases, more hospitalizations, and a warning for next year. And on Monday, City Council tackles the future of the arena and next steps for Sandpoint Beach Master Plan. We dig into what it could mean for residents. That's Monday at 6 on CTV News. A desperate search for survivors continues in Venezuela, where hundreds are confirmed dead and tens of thousands are still missing after 2 powerful earthquakes.
¿Cuál es la situación del edificio? Permíteme por acá, hermano, por favor.
International rescue teams and relief aid are pouring into Venezuela from more than 20 countries, including Canada. The search continues for an estimated 50,000 missing people in the aftermath of the back-to-back disasters on Wednesday.
The earthquake lasted what felt like a really long time. It felt like about 30 seconds. The local people there were screaming for God to save us.
At least 920 people are confirmed dead, but experts predict that number could rise to more than 10,000 people. And the devastation hits close to home for Windsorites with ties to the South American country.
The apartment building I was born in and I was raised in for the first year and a half of my life is down, crumbles. You know, where my uncle lives now is where I grew up. I lived in the third story of the house, and that's where he lives. We haven't heard from him yet still, because he's like in the center of the entire destruction.
Windsor realtor and gym owner Luis Mendez says the scenes he's seeing from his native Venezuela are heartbreaking. Much of his extended family still lives in the country and in the heart of the affected areas. Mendez says the disaster is the latest hit for the people of Venezuela to endure and puts plans for a return home on an indefinite pause.
My plan was to go this fall. We'd take the whole family back. Let's go back and visit family and show my kids, you know. Show my kids the beautiful country that Venezuela is, where I grew up, where I come from. And, like, it just puts itself so far from now.
Meantime, Israel and Lebanon have reached a framework peace agreement aimed at ending the fighting between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah militants.
We're happy to announce a framework agreement between the sovereign government of Lebanon and of course, the government of Israel, with a mediation and support of the United States of America, that begins to put in place a framework for lasting peace and security. And that's what these two nations deserve.
The trilateral agreement was announced by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington today, alongside Israel and Lebanon's ambassadors to the U.S. Both sides say the agreement is an initial step. It reportedly establishes a process for Israel to pull out of Lebanon once the threat from Hezbollah is removed. Prime Minister Mark Carney is launching a national design and build competition to modernize 24 Sussex Drive, nearly 11 years after the last Prime Minister called it home. Carney says the goal is to build an accessible and sustainable official residence. CTV's Abigail Beeman now with more on the future plans for this historic address.
This home is just 1 year younger than Canada. The Prime Minister describes it now as barely held together.
A rare look inside the official residence of the Prime Minister that ended up full of dead rodents, asbestos and mold.
We will not let it crumble. We will set it right.
The Prime Minister announced a competition for Canadian firms to present design and construction plans, with famous Canadian architect Moshe Safdie chairing a jury to assess them.
It's an extraordinary site with extraordinary potential. I think something wonderful can be developed here.
The government believes the cost will be under $50 million and will fundraise most or all of that, promising rules to avoid conflicts.
Individuals and philanthropic organizations, no corporate donations. The list of donors will be public. There will be a limit.
Former occupants Jean Chrétien and Stephen Harper will offer advice. In a statement, Harper told CTV News he's pleased the decision was taken to preserve the property.
Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, who, when they were renegotiating the Constitution to patriate it in 1982, he was in Sussex Drive when Jean Chrétien was making the phone calls back to him to say, is this the deal we want?
Author J.D.M. Stewart says the building is critical to Canadian history.
It is a place where all of our prime ministers since 1951 have made a lot of the decisions and done a lot of the work and greeted heads of government and heads of state from around the world.
When I see the homelessness on our streets and I see the young people who are desperate to start families but can't get a house to do it, I just think the last thing on our minds should be 24 Sussex Drive.
The winning design will be announced on Canada Day next year, 2027. No word on how soon a future Prime Minister could move in. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
As for King Charles, he says he won't be moving into Buckingham Palace next year once a massive royal renovation is complete. After years of renovations that cost around $700 million Canadian, King Charles and Queen Camilla will stay at Clarence House, where they've lived since 2005. The palace will continue to be used by the monarchy for official duties and major royal events, and has been the London home of every British monarch since Queen Victoria. Built in the 1820s, it has 775 rooms and gets about 700,000 visitors a year. Also, the King has become the first British monarch to disclose his personal taxes. He paid the equivalent of around $75 million Canadian since he became king nearly 4 years ago. And the CN Tower is celebrating its 50th birthday today. The iconic landmark opened on June 26, 1976. At the time, it was the world's tallest self-supporting structure at just over 553 meters. A 50th anniversary party was held on the patio at the base of the tower. There will also be a light show to celebrate. Canada's main stock index was helped by strength in the technology sector. In Toronto, the TSX gained 130 points. In New York, the Dow lost 45, the Nasdaq dropped 61. The Canadian dollar is up 1/10 cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $49 an ounce and oil fell to $69 a barrel. Could you save a life in an emergency? Coming up, how you can learn life-saving skills for free at an upcoming community summit.
Thanks to Joe Patange for this image. So sailors on the Detroit River. Will it be sailboating weather this weekend? We'll find out if it's pleasant enough with my forecast. Coming up next, right here on CTV News Windsor.
A look outside earlier this morning, cloudy moving into the afternoon. CTV meteorologist Gary joins us again for an extended look. Gary.
Stefanie, those clouds did bring some light showers, just a grazing across parts of the north shores of Lake Erie tonight. The good news is we're relatively mild. Beyond 8 o'clock, I think the chances of seeing any extended shower activity on the fringe of this area of low pressure in the region lessen. So that's good news. And the overnight, I think, is mostly calm and clearing to some degree. Reached a high near 22 degrees Celsius between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent. Our norm or average high at this time of the year is just shy of 27, so we were seasonably cool, relatively speaking. The air quality is decent yet again for the second day in a row. I think third day in a row, so that's good. Temperatures hovering around 20 degrees with cloudy conditions through supper time for most, 6, 7, and beyond. I think at 20, although the humidity levels aren't very high, does feel a bit warmer, 3 to about 6 degrees warmer, and that's been the story since mid-afternoon. So it feels like about 25, 26 out there. By the way, it's warmer in northern parts of the province of Ontario. Thunder Bay's at 26. We're at 24 in Toronto, 24 in London. Actually, a little cooler there, closer to 22. The worst weather is now just lying south of Illinois, the state of. Big thunderstorms there. And it's going to slide. This mass is going to slide south of the greater, I'd say, the greater area of Lake Erie, Lake St. Clair, extreme southwestern Ontario. The clearing begins tomorrow morning early while most of us are asleep. There's really no rain to speak of for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. And it looks good for tonight. I mentioned how things start to calm down. Northeasterly breeze at midnight, sustained at around 10K, and the temperature about 17 in Windsor. Clearing tomorrow, especially in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, a high of 25, feels like 30 at around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Sunny on Sunday, up to 27, and then we're looking at Monday, Tuesday, showers, and then sunshine, 32 followed by 35. Wednesday, Canada Day, 36 feels like about 42, 40% chance of showers. And 36 followed by 33 for Thursday and Friday, cloudy and a chance of wet weather. That's a look at your Intercuracao 7-day forecast.
This past flu season is being described as one of the worst in the past decade in Windsor, Essex. The medical officer of health says more than 1,200 influenza cases were reported between September and early May. Nearly 250 people were hospitalized. Young children and older adults were the hardest hit. Officials say Windsor, Essex recorded a higher flu case rate than the provincial average, pointing to low vaccination rates. The health unit plans to focus next season's campaign on boosting vaccine confidence and encouraging more residents to get their flu shot. Bouncy castles are popular attractions at events throughout the summer, but doctors are warning that they can be dangerous. The Montreal Children's Hospital is calling for more regulations after a young girl died earlier this year. CTV's Sweeta Rassi reports.
It's big, it's fun, and it's a staple of summer. But doctors at the MUHC say bouncy castles are also landing kids in the emergency room.
Injuries can include different types of fractures, concussions, neck, spine injuries, abrasions, lacerations, dental trauma, facial trauma.
Trauma director Debbie Friedman says the MUHC sees about 50 kids each year. The most vulnerable groups are children aged 2 to 10. That's why when it comes to inflatable structures, the hospital says it's time for rules.
There needs to be regulations and guidance as to how are they safe to use, and if they're safe to use, how do you make them safe?
Daniel Zakarian is the director of Clota Events, an inflatables company. He agrees with the hospital.
The industry needs some sort of standardization of regulations. We're lacking.
These calls come after the death of 3-year-old Eva Ciampini several weeks ago. She was jumping in a bouncy castle when suddenly it was swept away by strong winds and thrown several feet into the air. 10 other people were injured. The coroner is investigating and could issue recommendations. They did not respond to our request for comments. But recommendations are what the Children's Hospital and Zakarian are hoping for. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
If you're looking for a fun and inspiring way to connect with local charities and learn life-saving skills, then the Caboto Club is where you want to be on Sunday.
45 charities, hospital, emergency services, charities, learning opportunity, all under one floor on the June 28th at Caboto Club between 10 and 5.
The free event brings together charities, healthcare professionals, emergency services volunteers, and community organizations together under one roof to help make the community stronger. The Unity Summit is being hosted by Humanity First, an international humanitarian relief and development organization. Visitors can explore exhibits, take part in hands-on sessions, with various workshops taking place throughout the day.
Interactive sessions are basic life support, use how to do effective CPR and saving lives, and use of AED. This is one of the interactive sessions. Then there also a basic medical assessment and a disaster relief course. We will teach you one-to-one interactive session for all those life-saving skills.
It's so frustrating, so devastating.
Still ahead, how clicking on a deep fake ad on social media changed this woman's life forever. AI is making deep fake video scams harder to spot online. CTV's Pat Thorne spoke to an Ontario senior who clicked on an ad on Facebook and in a matter of months lost everything.
It's so frustrating, so devastating.
86-year-old Judy Skeen of Sault Ste. Marie says last summer she was online when she noticed an interesting investment opportunity.
From that point on, the algorithm earns on your behalf.
I saw an ad on Facebook of Mark Carney telling me that if I invested $350 Canadian, it would be backed by the Bank of Canada.
Skeen made the initial investment and the next day got a call from someone claiming it had already tripled in value. Over the next few months, she invested everything she had, even taking out a mortgage on her condo.
So I agreed then to put a mortgage of almost $300,000 on my condominium.
She believed her investments had almost doubled, but in reality, she had been scammed out of $900,000.
All my money was gone.
Her condo fees were bouncing. Her insurance on her car and her condo was bouncing.
Friends like Pat Probert stepped in to help when Skeen said she was so distraught she felt like taking her life. He's also been trying to warn others about investment fraud.
If you know a senior that's alone, reach out to them. Make sure that somebody is on a bank account as an emergency contact.
You may see images or videos like these pop up on social media. Criminals want to make it look like Prime Minister Mark Carney wants you to invest in cryptocurrencies, but it's an AI-generated scam.
Because these scams are on every different type of platform.
An AI expert says companies that allow the posting of scam videos should be held accountable.
Let's remember, they're making money off of these scams. These ads are running on social media platforms. This is a revenue stream for these apps.
Skeen says clicking on that one ad changed her life forever.
Just be alert and be careful what you see on Facebook.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Sandy McDonald joins me now to talk about tree health, and we have some examples of worst case scenarios. Talk to us a little bit about tree death and the dangers that we should be aware of. A perfect example of what we have with this tree behind us.
This is quite an example here as well. It was a tree that was marked for removal, and of course it has been in decline for a number of years, and I'm sure probably would be removed very soon as well. However, nature beat us to this. Of course, a bit of a storm this week as well, and so obviously lots of deadwood within this tree, and again, probably a very strong wind brought this through, and we've got some of the wood on the ground, but some of it, as you can see here, is still stuck onto the tree. So attention is needed soon to be sure the area will be safe.
What should we be looking out for on our property if we see perhaps signs of distress, or what are good indicators that may lead to some of these problems down the road?
Get a hold of a professional arborist and truly have your tree assessed. However, we've seen a number of those today. We've seen dead branches on the tree that obviously have died a number of years ago, and they're now actually, they were trying to heal themselves, but not enough strength to heal themselves here. We also took a look at some small shelf fungus, so a kind of fungus growing directly from the trunk or the bark, and we've looked at various types of those before. So that's an indication there's dead tissue within the tree. Those type of shelf fungus, they don't grow on live tissue of trees. That's an indication there's dead wood within it. Of course, holes, we very well could have animals nesting in there. We could have ants. We looked at earwigs today, all kinds of things living underneath the bark of trees, which are suffering some degree of death or decline.
All right. Sandy McDonald, thank you very much. As always, join us next week for another edition of Get Gardening.
Kate Otterbein joining me now. Kate, it's almost time to check in on what's happening now. What do you have for us tonight?
Yes, a big topic of conversation lately has been the social media ban, but it's not working. More on that coming up.
This is your CTV Windsor Hour Community Calendar. There's something new happening this summer. Art Windsor Essex Summer Nights. Enjoy exclusive summer programming every Thursday in July and August. See you next time on Our Community.
So, Kate, this is something that we have talked about a lot, but now Australia says it has to review its teen social media ban. Explain.
Yeah, they have to strengthen enforcement powers after a new study found the world-first measure hasn't done much to limit teens' access to platforms. Australia plans to stress test the law, which bans platforms like Instagram and YouTube from giving accounts to teens under 16. Despite early claims that millions of accounts had been shut down, teen social media use doesn't seem to have changed changed much. Now, the Canadian government recently introduced legislation to restrict anyone under 16 from having social media accounts. It's not in place yet, but it is still proposed legislation. But hopefully we can learn from the Aussies. Head over to our website at ctvnewswindsor.ca for this and all your local news updates.
And Windsor is going to have citywide lane restrictions beginning next week. No one likes to hear that.
Yes, no, unfortunately not, but it must happen. Windsor is going to be doing some street light replacements throughout the city. It says there will be brief intermittent restrictions from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. starting Monday. The work will continue, weather permitting, until October 30th. Drivers are reminded to be patient and follow posted signage. And in our social spotlight tonight, a cat in British Columbia showed no fear when a large predator waded into its territory. An unlikely game of cat and mouse, except with a bear. In this video posted on social media, you can see the cat charging at a black bear that wandered into a backyard. The bear gets spooked, darts around the backyard before hopping over a fence. That is one brave cat. It knew the bear was not supposed to be there, and it jumped into action.
I love the slow motion.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It is. I don't know much about cats. I don't know much about bears. But yeah, pretty brave. That could have gone very, very badly for the cat and the owner. I feel like the owners are going to maybe get a higher fence now because that bear jumped over like it was, you know, just skipping over a rock.
But they can climb apparently. I have a cat though, very fat one, but she's a cat.
Would she be able to scare off a bear?
I don't think so. She tries to scare off my dog and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we never have to. She never has to attempt to do that. Okay, Kate, how can viewers submit a trending segment if they have a funky little video like this they want to share?
Hopefully no bears, but if you do have one, you can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kate. An original theater production is breaking barriers and taking center stage. Still ahead, the inspiring actors and creators. And a tree.
With some clouds.
And the weekend is here. Those are all factual, Gary. Those are hard-hitting facts.
This is true. Being a weather specialist, meteorologist, I deal with the facts all the time. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. I promise you.
Is that a fact?
I guarantee it. It's a fact. Clearing tonight. We'll get into some fair weather cloud early in the morning through the mid-morning and then clearing for the afternoon. And that's why you see the clearing icon. High of 25, feels like 30. Humidity is building and going up as we head deeper into next week. Sunny on Sunday. High UV, wear your sunblock, 27. Then 32, 35, 36. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Wednesday, of course, Canada Day, 36. And some showers possibly. It could feel like 42. And then Thursday, Friday, 36, 33. What's happening? Warm air from the prairies, U.S. Central Plain, and Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf Plateau, the Mexican Plateau, combining to feed warm air towards us here in the Great Lakes.
And those are all facts. Thank you, Gary. Finally, tonight, tickets to the 2026 Fringe Festival go on sale Monday. And this year, local theater group will make their debut.
Whiskey shots are half price.
I have such high doubts about me because I'm so nervous and I find it hard to memorize lines, but I'm also excited about this because this is the first real play that I'm ever going to be a part of.
Shauna Morasti and her fellow actors from Community Living Windsor's Creative Community Experience, the main event, are preparing for 2 upcoming performances at the University of Windsor and 4 performances at this year's Fringe Festival. Plays are created and performed by actors with intellectual disabilities who really collaborate through storytelling, improv, puppetry, and physical theater techniques to create about a 45-minute original production. And this is obviously rooted in their ideas and lived experiences. The cool thing here, Gary, Caesars Windsor Cares presented a $5,000 check to the crew, which will be distributed between the actors.
So many of them have done like different little volunteer things, but when people ask them now, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a paid actor, right? So it's just awesome to see the pride that it brings them and the sense of independence. They come here, they are committed, they are rehearsing 3 times a week, and they are totally devoted to making sure this is a great thing and showing their skills off.
And Gary, this really was a pleasure to be part of the rehearsal today.
Yes.
They clearly are practicing nonstop. The joy on their faces, they're clearly passionate about it. And Gary, I mean, you still are an actor. I don't know if you were a paid actor. I mean, these actors are.
Yeah, no,
but
they are.
It's, you know, acting, it's so unique.
Very immersive. It is a craft. I did get paid a little bit here and there for doing that. What I love seeing them is the dedication and the passion, and they are true artists. There's no doubt about that. Good
and just
story.
a shout out to the director, everyone at Community Living, Caesars, like everyone, just it's a great program. Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching. Our late news will be just a little bit delayed due to the World Cup games. You could probably catch us here at around 2 a.m.
Those are our facts, ladies and gentlemen.
Facts.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca. I really should know that. Have yourselves a good night.
Good night.